Yes, let's jump into this first story. We have this one from timcast.com. Second high-altitude object shot down over Alaska. President Biden reportedly ordered the military to down the object out of an abundance of caution and at the recommendation of the Pentagon. President Biden ordered it to shoot down the object. On February 9th, North American Aerospace Defense Command detected an object on ground radar and further investigated and identified the object using fighter aircraft. A recovery operation is currently underway, conducted by United States Northern Command, according to Ryder, who noted no further details were available regarding a description of the object's capability, design, purpose, or origin. That makes it a UFO, as far as I'm concerned. And that story sounds a lot better. So here's where it happened. Seemingly off in the middle of nowhere in northern Alaska, where the first balloon should have been shot down immediately. But I don't know.
I think it's pretty obvious that the quickness with which they shot this one down, was probably because of the criticism they received about the first one.
Yeah, but...
And Congress just passed the resolution saying anything that comes into U.S. airspace needs to be dealt with basically effectively immediately. And that was the unanimous vote in the House, 2 days ago?
Apparently it's the size of a small car. I don't know. Look, we don't have a lot of information on this stuff, but I mean, I'm kind of happy they shot it down.
I would agree.
All right, we're all in agreement. That was great. That's the show for tonight, everybody. They shot it down.
I think one of the interesting details here is that how they leave out the place of origin. I believe they know where it came from, but I think they're not mentioning it where it came from for a reason. And I think that reason is that if you don't say what country, likely China, that it came from, China doesn't really have to retaliate, because then we technically didn't shoot. They didn't claim responsibility for what it is. Mm-hmm. So I'm reading into the details a little bit here in between the lines. I know that's a little bit of reckless speculation, but where this came from matters. We obviously just had the balloon incident with China, and I think there's a reason they're leaving out some details.
Did anyone? I mentioned this earlier. Did you hear about the laser that went across Hawaii?
The laser?
There was a green laser that was it.
What?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
green
I don't
laser.
Remember. Yeah, they said that it was likely a satellite, a Chinese satellite, and I didn't mention it earlier. I didn't.
Oh yeah, look at this. What is that? These green lasers?
And it moves fast.
You're telling me that's China? I think it's aliens.
Whoa.
I mean...
It's Russia. It's Russia, guys.
Matrix code?
Russian, Chinese aliens.
Yep. It is code. The simulation's breaking down, and that is the code. Well, I mean, I don't want to derail, but when I jokingly tweeted that all of this infighting in the alt media space was part of a plan, people were like, really? Because it's so hard to believe it's coincidental. Yeah. And I'm like, nah, we're in a simulation and everything's falling apart. No, but that laser thing's crazy. What is this? I kind of feel like this needs its own segment. We can talk about it. Let's go back to the object over Alaska, because my concern with this is, as I stated with the balloon, and now that we have a lot here, as well as Isabel, I'm interested in your guys' opinions. The way I described it is like somebody's going to rob a liquor store. They don't care that having the gun is illegal because they're about to commit a much more serious crime. China doesn't care about balloons in our airspace, and if we get mad about it, because they're about to commit a much more serious crime.
Isabella?
Right, yeah, no, that makes sense. And maybe some people were not, or they're not saying where the origin of it was from, because a lot of people, like Fox News was getting criticized because they were able to track the original balloons, like where it started in its entire path. So it's like, well, how did you guys know? And maybe they had someone that's leaked a story or something, but so you guys knew where it was tracking, knew its entire course, but somehow now we're just finding out about it. Somehow people knew something. And I just miss when they were just making the frogs gay, as Alex Jones once said.
That's all they were doing.
Yeah, I think they're trying to make more frogs gay. Actually, that's why our kids are gay now, I think.
That's what the aliens, the aliens are coming. And,
yeah.
And you know, and well, so back in all seriousness though, World War III a lot? World War III?
I hope not. And part
I thought you were going to say I hope so.
No. I hope not. And I think, again, why they're leaving out the place of origin is allowing China to have like permission not to retaliate. Because if we say we shot down,
right,
a Chinese spycraft or whatever, they will have to respond one way or another, either deny or not. So
they already condemned. China made a stink about the shooting down the balloon, which I think was fairly ridiculous to imagine that they're in a position to complain about it. But I think that that makes a lot of sense. Not that I have any kind of inside information or anything, but it does make a lot of sense that the giving China diplomatically a way to not retaliate, especially seeing as they did comment on the first one. If it's like, okay, there's a second one, that's a clear escalation.
Because they have to respond if we publicly say this is a Chinese, aircraft that we shot down. They're gonna have to come out with something, and then we don't want it to get into this sort of escalatory ladder where we're doing tit for tat. Because I'm sure we have spycraft in or around China and a lot of the territories around them that they have the potential to take down that, we don't want to get into that tit for tat.
That would kind of be cool, though, if like an American spy balloon flew over China and then China shot it down. And then like all of a sudden everyone's doing this balloon conflict where balloons are flying all over the place. I would prefer that to actual, nuclear conflict.
Like steampunk World War III.
Nobody wants to escalate, but these are the terms we've set where everyone finds it marginally acceptable.
Yeah.
Like China sent a balloon over, we didn't shoot it down. So then everyone's like, well, I guess we can send balloons. And that's all people are doing. And it's like, balloon over my country.